Hello everybody, my name is Michael Rose. I'm joining you here at Patrick BMW and MINI here in Schaumburg, Illinois, located at 700 East Gulf Road. And I'm here today to talk to you about the 2022 MINI Cooper Hardtop. Now this is a series that we're doing called Model Clinics, where we're going to be going over different cars in our ranges between MINI and BMW, and we're celebrating our 40 years in business this year. So we're coming to you as the fans and going over these cars, telling you all about them. Now this particular MINI is very interesting, and we're really excited to bring it to you because for the 2022 model year, BMW did what they call a life cycle impulse, which is a refresh of the car both visually and adding a lot of features to it. So why don't you follow me and we'll break down everything. So starting at the front of the car, we'll notice that we have an entirely new hexagonal grille. Now this really gives the car a more aggressive look, and several key things I want to talk about regarding this design. First of all, we have this body color insert here. Now this is going to help accentuate the wide stance and aggressiveness of the car, particularly on this S model. And then we have this slim honeycomb grille, functional aero. It feeds air into the radiators, and we have the MINI S specific badge right here. Now moving to the lower part of the fascia, we'll notice these two sort of nostril air inlets here. Now these are actually functional aero. These suck air into the engine, provide some cool air, and it increases the engine's power and helps deliver that power even on the hot days. We'll also notice this extended piano black trim. This is available as an option on these cars. You can get various different trim colors, white, but the piano black is as standard and new for the 2022 models. So following me around, we'll also note these brand new headlights. Now, these are standard on the 2022 model. These are brand new headlights that are fully LED, again standard on every single new MINI Hardtop. And you might have noticed when we pan down to the bottom of the bumper, the fog lights have been deleted. Well, MINI engineers have thought of that, and they've actually integrated a bad weather light into the new headlights that comes on via a sensor to provide you extra visibility in low light situations and fog, keep you a little safer, and cleans up the design a little bit. Coming around to this side of the car, I definitely want to point out these new side scuttles. Now these are also model specific, so we see the S badge here, noting that this is a MINI Cooper S. You'd see a John Cooper Works badge here or a MINI badge on the base cars. These wheels, also new for the 2022, and this finish is really cool too. It's kind of like a gray mirrored finish, again brand new for these 2022 cars and complete with run flat tires. Also exciting from the performance aspect is these now have adaptive dampers. This allows you to set the suspension via the sport mode, and it will kind of read the road and how you're driving and provide some extra firmness and some extra comfort based on what type of driving you're trying to do. Following me around to the side profile of the car, these mirrors are finished with the Union Jack mirror caps. Again, an option, tons of mirror and roof colors that you'll see in our forthcoming clinics on these various cars. But these harken back to the car's British heritage. Really cool little nod here. And again, with the roof color, this one's body color, but we have tons of options: black, gray, red, white. You can really personalize these Minis. It's one of the best things about them. Coming to the rear of the car, we can again see that the Union Jack theme is carried over into the taillights. So these are full LED taillights, and the Union Jack is actually standard now, so you'll see all those on all the MINI Coopers. The piano black trim that I mentioned up front continues to this little piece on the hatch. And why don't we open this up and show some cargo capacity. So as you can see, despite being a two-door car, this is still plenty of room for groceries and essentials. And actually these rear seats fold down 60-40, so we can fit even more cargo in there. Really flexible and surprisingly practical for a tiny little MINI. Now the lower fascia of the rear bumper, this is also going to be new for 2022. So we've got the honeycomb-like pattern here, finished in this matte black plastic, and then this, again, carrying over from the front theme, a body color insert. And again, this is going to really enhance the wide look of the car, especially on these S models. And then, of course, the iconic center exit exhaust. Now this car sounds pretty mean, and it's a really nice, sporty signature MINI touch. is closed here. Then we're going to go to the interior, talk about some of the updates. All right, let's get her started. Perfect. Nice little growl. So we'll notice, first of all, on this central display, this is all new for 2022, fully digital. You'll have all your important information: tachometer, speedometer, fully digital speedometer, fuel gauge, warning lights, and your odometer integrated into this as well. Fully, again, new for the 2022 model, and really, really nice, clean look. In addition to that, we've got a brand new display up front. This is an 8.8-inch screen, and this is the biggest that's ever been fitted to any Mini Cooper. And it houses our brand new infotainment system. So it's really cool because you can organize it via the widgets. This is a system like the BMWs where we can sort of customize the layout so you can have easy access to things like media, pairing your phone, the car's status, service updates, all that stuff. It's a really nice, clean looking system. Now, we'll notice this button here. What this does is it brings up our safety features menu, and very key in this one, you might notice we have lane departure warning now. Now, Minis previously only had the frontal collision warning and the pedestrian warning available to them. Now we also integrate the lane departure. It'll vibrate the steering wheel as you drift out of your lane, change lanes without signaling. Speaking of the wheel is also brand new for 2022. It's a really, really nice, thick, aggressive wheel, not too big, not too small, and feels really good in the hands. It's actually a leather wrapped steering wheel, stitching as well, and optionally you can get an upgraded Napa leather wheel too. Feels really, really good. We have the shift paddles here. Wonderful to note is that Mini kept the dual clutch transmissions for these cars. Really responsive, really great for sporty driving, really excellent, feels good. And then these buttons are also redesigned too. So they're sort of the haptic feedback style buttons for our cruise control, as well as the phone and media and radio controls here. Moving on to the center stack, this should be pretty familiar to anyone who's owned a Mini before. Of note though is we have our sport and green modes here on the furthest right toggle switch. Obviously anyone who buys this car is going to be taking full advantage of the sport mode because these are just an absolute joy to drive. And then in the middle, we have our climate dials. Now this car is fairly base. So what you see here is the base system. We can then upgrade to a dual zone system, and it's really sweet because the faces of these dials are actually going to be replaced with LCD screens. So you can adjust the temperature much like a thermostat in your home, and it will change on the dial in real time. Super awesome. And again, down here, we've just got our typical Mini shifter, also available in a manual, of course. And then we have our controller for the infotainment system there. But this is indeed a full touchscreen, so we're free to use either. Two options that are enhanced and now available for the 2022 model include a heated steering wheel. Now this particular car does not have it, but for the first time you're able to get a heated wheel in a Mini, and that's just perfect for these Chicago winters. In addition to that, we have an improved ambient lighting system. Now you'll see that kind of in action on the rim of the screen here with this gradient, and it's tough to see since it's daytime, but it will run along the doors as well, and also integrated into the trim that we can choose. Now this has 12 colors that we can switch between. So again, Minis are all about personalization. You can make your ride your very own. Speaking of the trim, this particular car has this piano black finish here. Now what this is it actually improved the surface area throughout the doors and the dashboard for your trim selection. So whether you have the piano black, whether you have the etched aluminum, you'll get more of that surface area, and it creates a bit more of an artful, unique interior. And quirkiness is a cornerstone of Mini, so really wonderful to see that. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna give the camera back to my assistant here, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the front of the car, the power plant, and some additional options that we've got going on. So much like with the outgoing car, the Cooper S is still powered by the 2-liter 4-cylinder that you see in a lot of BMW and Mini products. The output is 187 horsepower, 207 pound-feet of torque, and it just drives like a little go-kart. It drives like it's on rails. Absolutely fantastic. As I noted earlier, this is a bit more of a base car. So I'm going to go through some of the options that we can get in this car in addition to what we've got on this car as standard. First of all, we have the active driving assistant. What this will do is give you the adaptive cruise control. It'll give you the ability to set a follow distance so that you can follow someone on the highway. Super convenient for long trips, and you can even use it around town, set it for a low speed. Just make sure you contact the wheel and the car kind of does the rest of the work. In addition, we have the automatic parallel parking system, and what that will do is you can set this car to parallel park itself. You detect a spot, pull past it, and it's going to automatically shoot that car in reverse right into the spot, engage park, and engage the parking brake. Super convenient if you're a downtown Chicago driver. In addition, navigation is optional on these cars. It doesn't change the infotainment at all, but once you do get the navigation option, it also will allow you to have the Apple CarPlay upgrade and use that with the infotainment system. Fully integrates your iPhone. You have access to Siri, many compatible apps for music streaming, messaging, and navigation as well. So really nice supplemental feature for the Apple owners out there. So again, thank you guys so much for coming and watching. My name is Michael Rose. This has been the 2022 updated MINI Cooper Hardtop, and I'd like to open it to any questions that we might have for those watching. What do we think? Okay, I'm going to tell you some things I personally like about this car, why I would buy one of these, and honestly, I'm in a BMW now. I've been considering getting into a John Cooper Works car, and Minis are just the most fun cars to drive. I challenge anyone who, kind of trashes them as girl cars to get in and drive one because they just handle like a go-kart and they're an absolute blast. And of course you have a lot of stuff borrowed from BMW, so you have that fit and finish and luxury feel that BMWs offer in a smaller, more affordable package. And I love these cars to death. They're so peppy and fun and lots of personality. I like cars with personality, so this one absolutely fits the bill. Perfect. Well, thank you again for joining us. As I said, Michael from Patrick BMW. We are going to be doing these model clinics twice a month, one for BMW and one for MINI. And join us next month. We're going to be talking about another one from the MINI lineup. And again, celebrating 40 years in business. If you'd like to come in, test drive one of these, please do. We're happy to have you, okay? Thanks again, everybody.